let's come back to HCL. You remember HCL, the nice Indian company with 80,000 employees? Well, you know, the Dean talked about the strategy development workshop, you know, in the or seminar or course. In the past, strategy development was really very much in the industrial model. Strategy development really is a top-down exercise. On the top, you have the people who are thinking, and on the bottom, you have the people who are executing and working. So today, even today in most companies, strategy development works in the following. I know this because I'm a consultant. I help often with this. So basically, a number of executives, mostly males, they go to a very expensive hotel with attached golf course and very expensive wine list. You know, it's very good. I like it also. And then they spend 2 or 3 days, a long weekend, you know, deliberating on the future of the company. And on Monday or Tuesday, whenever, a couple of days later, the CEO of the company comes to talk to the people in a big town hall meeting, and he delivers, like, you know, Moses with the 2 tablets, the strategy. And the rest is execution. Now you in the ranks, you do it, okay? So this is the classical model of strategy, and this is how still most companies work today. So we hear a lot about, you know, reversing the pyramid. You heard this probably. Well, at HCL they said, let's reverse the pyramid, and they actually did it. So what happened is they said, well, let's do strategy development differently. Okay, so every year, a couple of hundreds of the HCLD senior managers, they develop the strategies for their product lines, for their regions, for their service level, for service lines, and so on. So there are a couple of hundred, like I think it's 800 or something. And normally what would then happen is that they would make, in a normal company, they would make nice PowerPoint presentations, which would bore everybody to death. And then they would present slide by slide to top management, who would fall down asleep. And some key people would be killed in the process for having the wrong numbers on the slides. But that's about it. And then at the end, everybody would be happy and hoping for the next year. And in this context, they did it slightly differently. So 800 managers, roughly, they did their business plans. Then they put them on the intranet, and per business plan were predefined employees that could, frontline employees that actually had real life experience with clients, you know, not like middle managers. So they would actually be able to comment on the business plans. And only if all these comments would be taken into account, then the business plans were finalized and presented to top management and actually set for implementation. So now you could think, well, this is fantastic, and when does this company go bankrupt? Well, actually they didn't go bankrupt. First of all, they became best employer in India for several years, in 2009 for the first time. And this is not a small thing, a small achievement in the IT industry, where you know that it happens sometimes in Bangalore, that people, they walk out of their train, and then they turn at the right, where they should turn at the left, and they go into another company, just because they receive a raise of 5 or 10% or 20% there. So loyalty is actually worth a lot in the IT industry in India, because if you can keep the best programmers, IT people, and so on, it's really something that is good money for you. And the second thing is that they grew by, in over 3 years, by 25%, outperforming most of their competitors. And the interesting thing was that in these 3 years, they didn't gain a single client. They just deepened their relationship with most of their clients, because they were being so much more relevant to the market, because there was so much more grassroots input into the strategy, as opposed to middle managers and senior managers playing around with slides. So, and their market cap, they increased their market cap in the same 3-year period by 200%. So it's quite a successful company.